Hello and welcome back to Faithful to the Traitors. That's right, you don't need to worry, we aren't dead. Something happened in Canada for 1 week, don't know what. But we had a week off.
We had a week off. And then
something about football probably, or some men doing something on a field.
Why do you immediately think it's sport?
Because that's why the episode got moved, wasn't it, I think?
I don't know. I just remember asking...
Actually, I'm thinking of the floor, sorry.
Oh, of course. I just remember asking you, when are we going to watch the episode? And you were like, I don't know. And then next minute you piped up from the other side of the house. It's not up yet. It's not out yet next week. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not doing that.
I actually found out, by the way, exclusive.
Ooh.
This is what social media is for. I found out there wasn't an episode of Traitors Canada last week through Kirkland. He posted on his Instagram stories.
Good at Kirkland.
And he said, no traitors this week, everyone. And I thought, oh, okay. Noted.
I'm off farming for love. That's what he said. Maybe that's why it wasn't on.
What, for farming?
Maybe it was an exclusive premiere episode of Farming for Love.
Don't know why it wasn't on. Mid-season break.
Reason.
Just what you need when Traitors is one episode a week. Is a week off.
It doesn't make sense that a show where kind of it needs its coherency, it needs to be always on, so you can keep an eye on everyone, and then they take a break, and it's, as you say, it's 1 week. I
can't remember who anyone is, what anyone was doing, what anyone's game plan was. All I remember is that Nick can do backflips. That's all the information I've retained.
I'll never forget Nick's backflips, nor will I forget Michael John's idiocy, and now his wobbly ears, because he has the wobbliest ears I've ever seen.
Does he?
Bar an elephant.
Right. He has. Don't get too personal here.
I'm not getting personal. I love Michael John. I don't know. I think he's a bit, but like when he gets angry, when he gets really angry and let's say enthusiastic, like incorrigible. He was like, when he was doing his pieces to camera, because clearly on this episode he was out for the fight. But every time he kept getting.
I'm Ben, by the way. I haven't done that yet. Sorry.
Oh, we haven't introduced ourselves. I'm Alex. Hello, right. I'm Faithful.
Back to the ears.
Just his ears would like kind of. I've never seen that from him yet, so I think that's a trigger. I think that's like kind of if you
tell.
Yeah. I think Michael needs to be careful not to kind of like get too. But what I'm saying here is Michael needs to be careful not to get too enthusiastic to defend himself, because I feel like he's going too far the other way. So where like the last couple of weeks he was playing like sneaky, no one's going to know that I'm a traitor. I'm going to do little bits behind the scenes.
Don't groom yourself too much. That's what Kyra said to him. Don't touch your beard.
Yeah, just stand still. But he's still got his ears, you see, and that's what he's using.
He cried this week as well. Although some said there was no tears, but he said he was thinking about his dead dog and he was crying.
I mean, I can't wait to get to Michael John's pets when we ask him about his pets.
Well, quite.
Now, listen, you guys listening and watching us, and we've had a few people get in touch with us, and it's lovely to hear from you all. We'll be talking about one in particular in a minute.
Will we? You're looking at me like I know what I'm talking about.
My mate. My chum.
Your chum.
Oh, we literally were just talking about it before we started the show.
Naked and Afraid Chris?
Well, of course, Naked and Afraid Chris is always going to be top of my list. But you guys can get in touch with us if you ever want to speak to us or let us know your thoughts or theories by going to faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. Commenting to us on Twitter at Traitors Podcast. If you really want to go there right now, I wouldn't. Instagram and threads at Faithful to the Traitors. And if you're listening to us, don't forget you can watch us on YouTube or your favourite podcast app. Charlie Producer is doing a dump just to say thank you.
I've accidentally locked him in this room and he can't get into his little box.
Oh no! I think you need to go and quickly do that.
Can't.
You're going to have to. If you don't, I will get up and do it. It's going to have to happen during that. This is the first time ever we're letting Charlie the Producer out the house.
Good luck. You can't get out.
Well, I'm going to have to get out somehow.
Just ignore him. He's fine.
No, I can't ignore him. He's too upset. Go to YouTube and search Faithful to the Traitors Podcast or BAM Productions, and you can find a video version of this podcast there. And don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell.
While you're doing this, I'm just going to go because this takes about 10 minutes.
All right, then. Give us a like, subscribe, ring the bell. I mean, you have to now watch the video on this episode. Ben is now getting out to help Charlie out. I feel like he may edit this out a little bit, so if there's a sudden jump cut, oh dear, if there's a sudden jump cut, then you know the reason why. And as promised, we're back from a jump cut because there was more chaos to that than actually was necessary. So, right. So I think
back.
I've given you, I think all the information came out at the top of the show. But if you do want to know anything like getting in touch with us, then just look at the show notes and you can find it all there. Okay. In fact, that's what I just should say, really. I should just say, just look at the show notes.
No other podcast does this whole
because
spiel.
this is a lot of things to say. However, who got in touch with us, Ben? No other. Yeah,
then Dylan.
Dylan. Mm-hmm. Wait, hang on. I'm going to say something nice about Dylan.
Because we ask. I'm just setting up what we do. We ask everyone who's murdered or banished to get in touch with us. Let us know about their pets.
That's it.
At home.
And whether you ride a bike to work.
Well, no, we don't care about that. But
we do, and people are answering. People are responding to it.
But that was last series.
This is working very well.
That was last series, but okay.
Dylan, we love Dylan. Dylan sent us a voice note, so thank you, Dylan.
We love Dylan.
We love Dylan. We love you, Dylan. Now, Dylan, you were quite right, though. I feel like we pushed that maybe we didn't want Dylan to win the show quite so hard.
I did say, actually, to my own defence.
Yes.
I said that he did get a bad edit.
Yes.
It was just not a very good edit because there wasn't much screen time. And when he was on screen, it was just him pointing out what the games are. But which was funny.
Some flaws, yeah. He's had some flaws. So instead of... Our thing with Dylan was that he would point something out and then walk off and expect someone else to kind of organise it
Which is funny.
Which was funny.
You don't always get a joke on this show.
No,
so
this show is very thin on humour. Let's be honest with you. We think it's funny, but to most people, it's
not. And also, when we are talking about people, we are talking about their gameplay, not them outside.
No way.
We thought his dog may be called Margaret Thatcher. We don't know what side of the
he did
side
political
of the thing
spectrum
he was on.
But lucky for us,
he's extremely right wing. We found out.
Yes, he is.
He's
Trump,
MAGA. He's MAGA.
He's supporting Trump. Yeah, he's pleased with the result that happened this week. Very much so.
So yeah.
Please bear in mind, this is very tongue-in-cheek. Dylan is a sweet guy, and honestly, thank you ever so much for getting in touch with us, Dylan. And also,
it takes a braver man than us to get in touch with someone when we've slagged them off for 6 weeks.
We haven't slagged them off.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
We critiqued.
Yeah. We still got in touch.
We always say, as we start the podcast, that everything we say isn't personal. It's just that we're debating, we're discussing your gameplay. And it just so happened, as Ben said in the edit, it just so happened that Dylan, on more than one occasion, tended to say, look, there's something there, and then wander off. Just kind of wander
and that's
somewhere.
The Dylan edit.
And that was the Dylan edit. From this point onward, Dylan, this is an honour, mate. This is an honour, mate. When we talk about people who are edited badly on the Traitors, we're going to call it the Dylan edit.
They did a Dylan.
There you go. You're now in
He's
the
now
Collins
in the
Urban Dictionary.
In the dictionary. So right, do you want to answer his questions then? Because he did actually tell us.
He's got dogs.
Yes.
One is called Maisie. That's short for Amazing Girl, which is honestly made my heart sing. That was lovely. And she's blind. And then she's got a brother called Wonder, which is short for Awesome Wonder Boy, which I also love. I just love the kind of like almost superhero, but not quite superhero, no pun intended, pet names for his dogs.
And sent us 11 photos. So.
There's loads of photos. What you can
winning.
Are you going to like pop them all over the screen? No, don't do that. That just looks dumb.
I'm like a YouTuber.
Why don't you actually spend some time and edit it?
Or maybe I'll put it on top of this.
What's this superimpose on top? You should have had a green screen on your phone. You would have easily done that into the years of TikTok. And do you know what the most important thing is that we learned about Dylan?
Makes him unique from the rest of the group, we think.
What, he rides a bike to work. He's the only one who rides a bike to work. He says he thinks I'm
probably going to be the only one that does. And he isn't right wing, everyone.
He's not. He's
even if he does have pictures of Maggie T on the wall.
Even though he does support getting rid of milk in schools, he is very much not a Tory, as we would say in the UK.
He's the other side, way on the other. He's a bit more like Jeremy Corbyn. If you're UK, you'll know. He's more that way. So
which is
even more left than Justin Theroux, whatever his name is. A lot of people more left than him.
The
evil Justin Timberlake. But there you go. So there you go. Dust is settled.
Thank you, Dylan, for getting in touch. Honestly, we do appreciate it. And as Ben says, it takes a lot to get in touch with.
We've not heard from Yasmi. She is a pop star though, so busy.
She's busy. She's touring Asia probably.
And we already know
pop stars that don't make it in the West do.
And we already know she has a chihuahua, so that's all we need to know. That's all we need
to know. However, we will ask one of the banished today to get in touch with us.
Well, that's
going to be
hard. That's a celebrity too. You see, the celebrities don't get in touch with us.
But again, Dylan is Dilly. All right, Dill. Is Dylan not a celebrity? Is he a civilian in this?
He was a civilian one, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he's not got a thing under his name on this sheet
okay.
here.
Good for him.
Oh no, nor did Yasmi. So she's not a celebrity either.
Well, you said she was a pop star.
Well, her Instagram says she is.
What were we watching yesterday? We were watching The Floor America, and that guy got up on stage and he said, I'll be really good at this topic because I've released 11 albums. He was like 22 years old and like no one had heard of it. Like 11 albums?
It's more than Rihanna. Right, so should we start actually talking about the show that we have to get back into after a week off? At
the end of the last episode, there was a knock at the door in the Torrent after Kyra and Michael John had a bit of a to and fro. And what had happened was that they had to. Oh, there he is, the culprit, the one who made us.
During the edit, I tripped over his water bowl, and now he's upset because I haven't refilled it. So he's just gonna have to wait 10 minutes.
I mean, he's being punished for being a prat. Yeah, let's be honest. But he is producing, so that's the main thing. So we had Karine.
Yes.
Come in to the Torrent, and she said, you need to choose someone to be locked in a cage and they will be murdered if they don't find the right key. Here is the key.
She flashed them the key.
She flashed them the key. They scrutinized that key.
I know, because I thought there was going to be loads and loads of keys.
So did I.
And like they had to look at like the shape of like the lock bit. What's that called on the key? The head?
Well, the top of the key.
Yeah, like they had to remember the pattern, and there'd be loads of black keys everywhere.
Well, you could no way remember a pattern of a key like that.
Yeah, I know, but then when they went to the game, there was like 6 keys up, and they were all gold and one was black, and it was like, really?
Yeah, there were a couple of black ones. They kind of
but one looked much different than all the others.
They kind of paired
all the others were like really big, and this one was really small.
I don't know. I think you're remembering it a bit differently.
I think I am.
I think you are. I think you. What's it called when you kind of think something like something is something, but it's not? Like the Monopoly man has like a monocle, but he doesn't. The Nelson Mandela effect. I think you're thinking it was something that actually wasn't there. I think you wanted it to be like that.
I think it was.
It wasn't. I don't think the production crew are quite that behind.
But yeah, they chose. They let. Also, this is the first thing. Kyra is continuing her hatred. I've never seen traitors like this before, like to each other. They really are like she's still angry, like just as angry as she was.
Oh yeah. Well, in later on in the episode, she basically goes and plays to get rid of him. She gets people on her side. She
was literally like, you choose because you're such a good game player. Come on, who are you going to pick? Come on. And he was like, Mike. And he was like, really? But it turned out he picked Gale, which was also, in Kyra's view, a stupid move.
Well, because they're the ones who are accusing him of being. So he was given a choice of 3. He said 3, and all 3 of them were people who were accusing him
even
of being
Ned
a traitor.
Was like, are you sure you want to do this? He's like, yeah, it's a good game plan, isn't it? She was like, well, this is so no. And he was like, oh, and he still did it.
Well, he's basically lost the support of at least Kyra. I think Nida is just kind of watching from the sides and
in disbelief.
Well, she's kind of scoping what her move is in this situation, because really Kyra is taking the power out of the whole traitors, of the whole group of 3 of them. She's literally taking the power out of it, because at one point I think she even kind of dismissed Nida at one point as well. So I think she's kind of assessing how her position is with this, whether if Michael John was to go, whether her and Kyra would still have that strong bond, or whether she literally needs to think of a plan for herself for when Kyra
get Nick on board.
No, this is Nida. Nida won't get Nick on board.
Right, no. I thought
Nick won't go against his own sister.
No, I thought you meant Kyra.
And that's another thing. Plan. That's another thing that got brought up as well, because Kyra and Nick kind of had that little secret chat, and they were both saying like, "Well, no one's still not worked out that we're related yet." So I wonder. I really would wonder what the fallout of that was going to be, because
I do want her to recruit him as a traitor, because I just think it would be interesting. Never been done before that I know of.
But he doesn't know that she's a traitor either. I'm a bit surprised. I mean, is it in the rules? Can she tell someone if she wants to? You're not allowed to tell. Okay, then that's the reason why. But I would if there wasn't in the rules, I wonder if Kyra would have told Nick, and that basically said to Nick, "Look, support me as a traitor, because then we can split the money." Because I'm sure they're going to split the money.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a bit of an advantage, because even if they weren't both traitors and he knew, they could still split the money off screen.
But she always has to keep him in the game as a faithful. That's the thing. But there's no suspicion around them at all. There's no suspicion around Kyra. There's no suspicion around Nick. They're pretty much the power couple. I mean, brilliant play. Even after this episode where Kyra was blatantly trying to get rid of Michael John throughout the whole episode. And at the same time, people were starting to suspect that we're getting to a point now where they've not got rid of a traitor, and traitor on traitor hate crime is going to start kicking off soon. People still didn't suspect that Kyra
was throwing a traitor under the bus. I know, it's weird. I mean, there was a few almost hints at it, but nothing that's gonna,
nothing concrete or solid. But
Kareen's getting very annoyed with them, with the group, isn't she? She's like,
I know, poor Trana.
No, not Trana, Kareen, the presenter.
Kareen. Well, she's playing the part, isn't she?
She's literally like, why am I here? She's one step away of just saying that's a traitor, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
well, when she was at the round table and she was giving that speech about how like they're
crap,
they're letting the world down right now,
with a cigar
and her very Paris hair, she we both thought that perhaps she was coming to maybe offer kind of like a bribe to encourage them to find like we'll give you $10,000 if you on this round table finally found a traitor, and I think that would fire them up a little bit. I think they seem to be relaxed. I think they're just too relaxed at the moment, because despite Trana pointing her finger in the wrong directions, at least she's fired up enough to kind of say, why are people not listening? Why are people not listening to me? It's just a huge shame that we're in a situation where normally when this is the case, they're actually right. But unfortunately, Trana's not right, and she's not right with any of them either. Like it's
the really confidently wrong thing, and it's painful to watch because it's really annoying, because she's being on the verge of getting a bit like, not aggressive, but like pushing it, and it's like, but you're wrong. So it's really annoying to watch.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a bit annoying. But Gail was up for murder, but she wasn't murdered. Do you think that was the producers like being like, let's just keep one more faithful, let's not have another faithful murder, let's just put her in a cage?
I mean, at this point they would have run out of faithful, wouldn't they? I mean, let's have a look. If Gail was to go, there's 3, 6, there would only be 9 faithful. Well, I suppose it's still a 1 in 3 chance of a win, but still, yeah.
I think that was a little help for them though, off screen.
But they also let, every time they got, because the task was that they had to solve a puzzle, and every time they solved the puzzle with a word, I still don't really understand the rules of it, but that's not the point. Every time they got the problem correct, they chose a key which they would then at the end try to unlock Gail's cage in. And they gave Gail the choice every time to choose the key. And at one point, did you not hear Michael John? It was a real throwaway moment they put into the episode. But Michael John said to someone, I couldn't hear who he said it to, but he said to someone, "Oh, it's weird how Gail was the one who chose all the keys. She must have chosen the one knowing it was the correct key," which was quite a clever gameplay by Michael John. It was in the episode, so I'm presuming it's going to come back up later. But at the same time, it's like, why did people not listen to that? That's actually a really good...
Because Michael John said it.
I know. But if I think, again...
The man who doesn't know what show he's on.
Well, he doesn't know the rules. If Neda and Kyra was on Michael John's side, that would have been a real power play by the traitors again. They could have easily got rid of Gail, if not this round table, at the next round table. And that would have been just an extra one that they didn't have to kill. So it's weird, it's bad, it's a shame that the traitors have become so quite as fragmented as they have, thanks to Michael John. It's completely his fault. But
and it's making that the other two aren't going to trust each other, because
exactly,
yeah, so
it's a real shame.
It's all going to end in tears, I feel. But Michael John's still not being banished.
Well, no, he hasn't. He got away with it. He got away with the round table despite Kyra's efforts. She got Nick, didn't she? She recruited Nick on her side to
there's going to be a nod if it's going her way. If not, don't do it.
And she told a couple of other people to keep an eye on Michael John as well.
And that's where there was like a few hints. Was it Lauren who was like, she's pushing Michael John, so maybe she's a traitor? There was like a little thing of, is she a traitor, pushing out a traitor there, but nothing that anyone linked onto.
But also Melinda was the one who brought up that there must be, at this point of the game, because no traitors have gone, there must be traitors who want to kind of give a few crumbs to the faithful. So
Cedric, get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, they're obsessed with Cedric's system. There's always one in every series, and Cedric's that one where people don't like him. People don't want him in the game necessarily, but they know he's just a safe exit later in the game. He won't win. He won't make it to the final. If he does, God knows what Cedric's done to kind of turn around his fortunes. But he's just there as a background character in the minds of the faithful and of the traitors, because traitors won't kill him because they know he's an easy to get rid of, and the faithful won't get rid of him straight away because they want to look for the traitors first before they get rid of Cedric. They do it under the guise of, I think Cedric's a traitor, but they know. I think the only one who genuinely believes that Cedric might be a traitor is Trana, which is a shame because, again, it's a misdirection and
completely
I think
wrong.
And her big speech this week was like, just give it, everyone's shot their given a shot and had their chance and they've always been wrong. Let me have my chance. And if Trana was right with it, then oh my goodness, she's going to be a powerful player.
Someone, was it? I think it was Lauren again or Gail. Someone said to her, they were like, "Well, you did that last week and you were wrong." Or the other week, was it Kirkland?
No, it was Lauren. Lauren said it about them banishing. Who was it last week? Who went? Jasmine?
It was Dylan. Jasmine. I can't remember. She said it. I think she said it about Kirkland and like that was your shot and you were wrong there. But they're still wrong. But and Melinda has been quite vocal throughout all of this, and that's I feel like she kind of gave up on this episode. She didn't really say anything to not get voted off. She was just like, just vote me off.
She didn't really fight for it, did she?
I wasn't amazed with, or I didn't particularly like Melinda's gameplay in this series. I don't know. It was all very wrong, so it was hard to like get behind her. Yeah, it's the same as Trana because they're so wrong.
It's hard to
support them with their fiery push to get people. It's like because they're not even half
they're
right.
so certain that they're correct,
and they're not.
There's been no evidence to prove that they are. Even when they have pointed fingers, as you say, when there's been Kirkland and other people that they've kind of pushed to the forefront as being they've not been pointed. It's not been pointed out, I should say, by the other faithful that they're wrong. So they've been given a second chance. But I think it's the passionate arguments that Trana gives that kind of saves her from, because she's so adamant about something that people listen.
Well, she told Cedric to shut up when he said to her, "Don't say it to me."
Yeah, and she did apologise immediately, so I thought that was fine. There was a bit, of course it's going to get heated around the round table. Another thing I thought was interesting is that Lauren thinks that Kevin's a traitor. Kevin thinks Lauren's a traitor, and they both admit that they're friends with each other.
Oh yeah, that was
because
really
they
weird.
want to keep the other one on side so they don't get murdered.
That was weird,
but
wasn't
neither of them are traitors.
Because Lauren said that to him. He was on the bench. She was like, "Well, I know you're a traitor, but just don't murder me." And it's like, what? It's really odd.
Yeah. And then Kevin said, "Well, I think you're the traitor." And then in the pieces to camera, Lauren then admitted that the reason she wants to stay friends with Kevin, or very close
he's a
with Kevin,
bachelor.
Of course, his stunning good looks and his chiseled chin, but also not just that, is that she actively wants to be recruited by him, but she's going for the wrong person because Lauren, I'm afraid to say, Kevin is not a traitor.
No. They're all so, because around the round table it was all over the place really. There wasn't, and then in the end they just all voted one person, but like they're all on different wavelengths for all different people. So,
but I think this was I think an organised attack on Melinda, because originally
half of them didn't even believe Melinda was a traitor. I think they were just going for just copying votes, I think, weren't they?
Maybe just to kind of show us a group of solidarity. But also it might be, if this is also good reasoning, there might be that a few of them felt worried about going away from Melinda, because it could be then another finger being pointed at them as being traitors. Why didn't you vote for Melinda? If Melinda had been a traitor, why didn't you vote for Melinda? Why didn't you choose her? Well, it's a very strange way to act. So, because at the round table, bar two, everyone voted Melinda. The only one who didn't was obviously Melinda. Melinda voted for Cedric, and Trana, who voted for Michael John, who's actually the correct one. However, Trana then backed it up by saying, "I'm only voting for you because I don't want to vote for Melinda.
Yeah, and I don't think you're a traitor.
And I don't think you're a traitor." And it's like, oh, God's sake, Trana, that was your chance. I wonder what it's
like when you're watching it back and like you're watching your gameplay and you're so wrong.
It must be frustrating.
I wouldn't be able to do it. Well, I'd be like, I can't.
Some people watch back, especially on the American series. They watch back. No, the Australian series 2. I forget the woman who was in it, but she kept posting reels on Instagram, because obviously I won't spoil series 2 of Australia, but it's a bit one-sided, let's just say. And she kept calling them idiots, didn't she? She said it on the show. Dummies, that's it. And every time every next episode came out, she kept saying, "You're dummies, you're all dummies." So I wonder if it's like just like screaming at the TV.
Are you ready?
I think that this season should be called The Dummies.
There you go, Australia Series 2.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Come on, Australian TV networks. You can pick up a third series. Roger Corser's waiting for some work.
So before we move on to what the conclave happened after the banishment, we have got a quick...
What's your name and where do you come from?
Melinda. A bit late in the episode, but you never know what you're going to get on this show.
I mean, well, yeah, you opening a door for a cat whilst tipping over a bottle of water.
Exactly. All right, so Melinda, he, him, out of drag. No preference when in drag. So,
fair enough.
A drag performer, Melinda was one of 11 queens chosen for Series 4 of Canada's Drag Race. Melinda might be best known for having a meltdown on camera. She's got 4 machine. And then turning it around to win the Snatch Game.
Oh, the famous Snatch Game. If you win a Snatch Game...
What's Snatch Game for people who've never seen Drag Race?
Well, Snatch Game is... I think in America it's called the Match Game. In the UK, it's called Blankety Blank. That's right, we call it Blankety Blank. And it's basically you have 2 contestants and then there's a statement. So Ben was walking down the street and his blank popped out. And then you have to fill in what the blank is. And if you match with one of the 6 other celebrities, then... But they do it as... But the drag artists play other celebrities in drag. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm sure everyone knows what Snatch Game is on RuPaul's Drag Race. But the fun fact I like to say is in the UK it's called Blankety Blank. Because I think that's a better name for a game show. Blankety Blank.
We need to know, Melinda. What, have you got any pets?
Oh, do you have pets, Melinda? Sorry, hello, Melinda. I'm just thinking about...
5th place on Series 4 of Drag Race Canada.
Anyone who's not watched it, there you go. So we're not allowed to spoil Traitors, but we can spoil the results of RuPaul's Drag Race. Ru will be on the phone to you in no time. I'm telling you.
He doesn't watch Canada's Drag Race.
Doesn't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, probably.
No.
So Melinda, if you're watching or listening on YouTube or on your favourite podcast app, please get in touch with us and let us know. Do you have any pets at home? Because we love to know. We would love to know.
Quick scroll.
There's a Luigi hat. That's a good start.
That's not him, though. That's his friend.
That's fine. A friend. It's fine. And Melinda, when you go to the drag show... Do you get in full drag, then hop onto a bike and ride to the club? Or do you catch a taxi?
Drag on a bike.
Drag on a bike. That's a reality show, right?
That is.
Drag on a bike. So yeah, get in touch with us. You can faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter @TraitorsPodcast or Instagram on Threads @faithfultothetraitors. Send us a message and we'll
I found one.
Out. We found a picture of you with a dog.
A dog kissing your face.
Kissing your face next to a lake.
So
that's a book title. Kissing your face next to a lake. Drag on a bike.
I'm just scrolling through the Instagram very quickly. I've just seen one photo of a dog so far. Unsure if it's their own dog. So
fantastic. So Melinda did get voted off then from the round table.
Yes,
12
unanimously.
Votes. 12 votes. It
didn't
was
put
unanimous.
up a fight. Didn't try to not get voted off. Just kind of accepted it and went.
She accepted her fate.
Got a paycheck. Was like, right, I'm off. Bye.
Absolutely.
I'm a celebrity, so I get $20,000. Bye.
Yeah, a little bit of extra money. They do get paid, don't they?
I don't know. They do on America, which is why the American one's awful. Another picture of a dog here. Cockapoo.
There you go.
Loco for Coco.
Oh, there you go.
Is Coco the dog their dog?
Is Coco your
Who
dog?
Knows?
Or did you just steal it? Let us know.
Very flexible.
And they went to the conclave, and Michael John believes now he's gone back to the conclave, that he is no longer a target, that he's had that one day's grace, everything's simmered down, everything's back to normal. He cried. He was thinking about his dog who died.
An unknown name so far. Mm-hmm. We'll find out later.
We don't even know if it's actually a dog. He was able to push out. Well, he was able to make his face very red.
Well, people said he wasn't crying, but he was.
They said he wasn't. They said he was crying, but there was no tears coming out. It was like a Kardashian.
Because Kyra was crying, and then he started crying. Copying Traitors.
I think Kyra was a genuine cry. I'll be honest with you, because again, this whole competition.
Because she loves the gays, and she was just upset.
Exactly. I mean, we love the Kyra. I'm still waiting to do my workout with her and backflips with Nick. And this game can be so emotional, can't it? That you can understand that you would get emotional. It's because you do make.
Melinda and Trana was very. There's something going on there.
Trana was very upset too. Yeah, well, they were best friends, BFFs. They've obviously formed a bond, and perhaps also they were working together to kind of get people out, but. Unfortunately, it wasn't the way. But
do you think you're doing a good job? Michael said, yeah, I'm doing a good job. Kyra laughed, said, you're not. You're sweating, you're touching your beard, you're not crying.
You're flapping your ears.
Everyone's saying your name still.
You're going to fly away. If you get a feather in your nose, you're going to fly up to the sky.
So, the bullying continues.
By us. Sorry, Michael John.
Kyra the bully.
Aye. But I'm on Kyra's side, I have to say.
yeah.
I'm 100% with Kyra on this one. He has ruined that. He can potentially ruin their game for them.
But he's not been banished, so is he doing that bad? That's the question.
I think it's not that. I think
that's what Karine said. Is did I pick the right traitors or did I pick the wrong faithfuls or whatever she said?
And Trana said it was the faithfuls. They were the wrong. But no, he said that the faithfuls were not they weren't strong enough to get rid of someone.
Trana said that after being 100% wrong on her prediction,
which is also true. Yeah.
So who's right or wrong here?
It's a tough one. It's like, but I think if Kyra gets the chance and gets enough people, I mean, she's got Nick on side now. I think Pac-Man also mentioned Michael as well, Michael John. So I think she is slowly gaining traction here.
Maybe he's got another episode in him. Who knows?
No.
So what was the cliffhanger? There was three to choose from.
Nothing, no twist. There's 3 to choose from. One of them will be murdered. The 3 were Pac-Man, because he's getting some heat because he's pushed Michael John's name.
He's not had a very good edit. I haven't really seen him at all, so I'm wondering if he's going to get bumped off. Carry on.
I know. I don't know why they're not showing more Pac-Man, because he's meant to be a gamer, isn't he? So you think he'd be more into kind of like the intricacies of it all.
And Kyra also said it was a mistake when they got rid of Enoch. And she was like, we need really good, strong game. I think she was saying that to not get her brother up, because he's like Mr. Fit backflip man.
I didn't put that together, but you're absolutely right.
I think that's why she was like, don't get any of this rid of the strong men, aka Nick. Yeah, get rid of Pac-Man. So
the prize pot's really shit. 42,000 at this point isn't great, let's be honest.
How many years work is it for her?
It's not a year's work for her, and also it should be 49,000, let's not forget. Because Michael John,
I don't think we will forget that.
No, because Michael John bought Shield, which was the most unnecessary thing in the whole wide world.
So Pac-Man,
Mike.
I like Mike. I think he needs more screen time as well.
I agree. He talked about how he talked about someone who's like in the game on his podcast. I thought they were all ficticious names, and then he started saying,
"Oh yeah, he's done a podcast about this."
I did a podcast about them. Don't know anything about them.
Fear.
Yeah,
the word.
Fear. Mike is because he's getting comfortable now with the group, and he's starting to become a bit more of an influence and pointing fingers. So that's a bit tricky for them. And Trana is pointing fingers, but in the wrong places. So if she was to be murdered, then the people who she is pointing fingers to would more likely be the ones they think is a traitor. So Cedric.
I think that's a bit of a silly move.
And Lauren.
Like traitor-wise. I'm wondering if she's just there because they needed to have 3 names for a cliffhanger. Because like it seems a bit silly to get rid of her because she's pointing fingers at people who aren't traitors. So you wouldn't murder her.
She won't get banished around the
unless you're
table.
Michael John, because he probably got a bit confused and was like, yeah, that's a good idea to get rid of someone who's not blaming me.
The thing is with Trana though is that there's going to be a point where she's named so many people that eventually she will hit one. You know
and if she does, she'll never shut up about it.
Exactly. So when it gets to that point, would it be then too late to murder her? So would it be easier just to get rid of her early on before she gets to the point where she actually says, oh, I think Kyra is a traitor, and then pushes it too heavy?
No one seems to listen to her. So,
but Trana,
yeah, well, they haven't listened to her very much so far.
Well, because she's had a couple of misses. So now that there's been another miss from someone else, I think Trana's stepping back up onto the plate. I think she's got more of a chance now to get listened to. Okay.
Well, hopefully we'll find out next week if there's not another week off.
I think if she gets Cedric wrong, she's in danger of being... she is wrong. No, she will get Cedric wrong. I mean,
unless they recruit Cedric, or they get rid of Michael John, recruit Cedric.
I mean, that would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Oh, actually, I wouldn't mind that. I'd watch that.
And then the next episode,
Cedric's gone. They always do a sacrifice. Again, that's a staple of the Traitors. There's always a sacrifice. They recruit them, and then that very same episode, they're gone. But we shall see. Yes. Who do you think it will be? I think it might be Trana. Actually, I genuinely think Trana might
Pac-Man,
be the one.
Only because of the edit. I'm putting producer head on. I think because he's had such a nothing edit, that makes sense for a murder.
Sounds fair.
Anyway, let us know what you think, everyone listening.
Yes, faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com, on Twitter @Traitors Podcast, on Instagram and Threads @faithfultothetraitors. You can find us on YouTube if you're listening to the podcast. You can watch us too by searching Faithful to the Traitors Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment underneath the video if you're watching us on YouTube.
Send us comment on Spotify as well.
Comment underneath the Spotify audio and videos. What can you do with Apple Podcast? Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcast if you enjoy listening to the podcast. And if you want to help with the podcast, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, and you can throw a couple of silver coins our way. That'd be really nice. Oh, and we got a QR code app group as well. There you go.
That's just for editing purposes, so I know when to do it.
If you scan it, you can join our WhatsApp group, and we'll try our best. As I suspected, I'm not doing a great job to kind of keep things updated on that.
Also, I think they've announced for fans of Traitors UK, the next series 3. Do you know when it's going to start? It's going to be busy for us. New Year's Day.
It's starting on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hungover. No, I'm not. I won't be.
So hopefully we'll have a New Year's Day special.
Oh, goodness, yeah. No, because it'll be the evening, won't it?
New Year's Day is all day.
I get that.
What do you want me to say?
they're not
New
gonna-
Year's evening special.
Are the BBC, come on, Mr. Fountain of Knowledge, are the BBC releasing what they normally do? They've done it for the last 2 series.
Episode
Are
1,
they
2 and
releasing
3.
1, 2, and 3 as a block on iPlayer and then releasing them
Don't know.
scheduled from
They
there
only do
on?
that for week 1, don't they? I don't
That's
think
what I'm
they
saying.
will because it's such a big show and it's the UK's biggest show now.
Yeah, but it ramps people up, doesn't it? So people like watching the first 3 episodes to get themselves... And they edit it in such a way that it actually tends to feel like it's one big
one.
one long episode. If they do that, then get ready on New Year's Day. You're going to have a lovely gift. Happy New Year to you all. You're going to have a long video. Are we going to split it? Again,
We've got 2 series to do because there's Celebrity Traitors UK coming out as well.
Yes.
So,
Have you heard? We should do an episode. If you want to listen to an episode of us discussing the rumours of the Celebrity Traitors UK.
Because for the first time we will actually know who they are because it's UK. Not these weirdos in America who we don't have a clue who they are.
There's one big rumour.
Housewife.
So, you know who might be on the UK version?
Lauren.
Ekin Boo Hoo Hoo.
Oh no. God, no. I thought we
She'll
meant
creep out the
Lauren.
woodwork. Do you know
She's a real housewife of Chelsea, isn't she, Lauren?
We do have a version of it.
I'm really, really sorry.
Oh my God, that was such a great moment on Big Brother.
Anyway,
yes.
Karen, what are we talking about?
I was going to say,
We're ending the show.
Get in touch with us if you would like us to do a special episode talking about who, it might not be like in the next month or so, but after this UK series, perhaps. Maybe I'll talk about it then, because more people will probably be more interested.
This is right
in
at the end of the podcast. Who's listening? Only the big fans.
No one. Don't blame
the big
you.
fans.
Absolutely.
Right, so we will see you all next week, hopefully, if there's no, I don't know,
Hiccups.
elections.
I mean, it might be a little bit later
or...
again due to things that are happening with us.
Oh yeah, we can't record at all times at the moment in our house, in our studio. Sorry,
Our house. You can't see it. But you can't see it. There's
it's
a wall
all going-
missing right there. The
Anyway.
neighbours are watching us right now. Hi.
So we will see you next week, hopefully at some point for the next episode of The Traitors. And remember, I always forget this, but stay faithful.